What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so as I've said before, one of the things I like to pride myself on this channel is I can talk about almost anything. And in this particular video, I want to talk about Peggy Bundy. All right. Now, of course, Peggy Bundy is a character on Married with Children. She was portrayed by Katie Seagal on that show from 1987 through 1997. I think she was in almost every episode of the show, except for maybe, I want to say, the season where she miscarried. Unfortunately, like in her real life, she was pregnant. They had worked into the storylines that Peggy was pregnant, but then unfortunately and unexpectedly, the actress miscarried, and I think she missed the rest of the. I want to say that was the 90-91 season, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, as a boy, when the show aired, because it aired a long time ago, as a boy, then a preteen, and then definitely as a teenage boy, I looked at Peggy through the eyes of a horny teenager. So I saw her as a MILF, obviously, you know, and I used to wonder to myself, what is Al complaining about? I mean, she's gorgeous, you know, she's absolutely gorgeous, even though I could never understand, through the prism of the sitcom, how she was able to keep her shape and her figure, considering all she did was sit on her ass and eat bonbons. But whatever the case may be, even though she was lazy to me, I said, hey, well, she's sexy. But as you get older, as you grow the fuck up, as you go through relationships yourself, and you get to Al's age, shit, before Al's age, I came to the conclusion, but it gets more clear. You begin to see that Peggy Bundy wasn't shit, man. She wasn't shit at all. She was a very, very trifling, lazy ass wife. And that was what the turnoff was. That's what the turnoff was with her. Like, she didn't want to do shit. She never did anything. Like, she didn't clean up. She didn't cook. She wasn't a really good mother. She was a horrible wife. But yet, she always wanted money to go shopping. And then you got Al, who somehow was able to afford this house on the salary of a shoe salesman. Even though he professes to be broke, he comes home from a hard day at work, dealing with fat women all day. It seemed like every fat woman in Chicago just somehow gravitated toward that shoe store, like it had a fat magnet. After all of that, then you want him to come home and fuck you. Why? You don't do shit. You don't do a damn thing. And that was the turnoff was. And then, even though he had every excuse in the world to do so, he still didn't cheat on her. So that just proves to you, saying that no matter how, quote unquote, attractive she might be to the viewer, to Al, he's been past that. Now, I don't want to read too much into the show. It is just a show. It shouldn't be, necessarily looked upon as completely real. But quite obviously, you know, if you want to be technical about it, she was a horrible fucking wife. And in some ways, even though it's an exaggeration, her character and what she did or didn't do, she was kind of a precursor to a lot of the shit that we see today. Women who are entitled and feel entitled to certain shit, but don't want to do shit themselves. Oh, I don't cook. Um, I'm not a fucking housewife. You need to go back to the 50s with that shit. I'm a strong, independent woman, but yet a man's supposed to pay for every fucking thing and do everything. You know, and the point I made earlier, at least Peggy kept her shape somehow because a lot of these chicks today they gain 50 pounds a year. But then demand that the dude have a six pack, demand that he, what I'm saying, has this type of figure and he gotta have that, you gotta have this, and all of this bullshit. Just ridiculous, man. But I will say this. I remember there was an episode where I think it was late in the show's run when Peggy hit her head, right? She hit her head and she got concussed and she forgot who the hell she was. And Al tricked her and molded her into being a good housewife. Like, you might remember the episode. Like, she was cooking, she was cleaning, she was doing the laundry. I mean, because remember, she's a housewife. She doesn't have a job. She don't want to work. So really, yeah, she's supposed to do housework type shit. But anyway, she was doing all these types of things. And that, seeing a woman taking care of her man, you know, uh, doing these things for him, it turned him on to the point where now all of a sudden he want to fuck the shit out of her. But see, that's how it works. I mean, we're not men. Look, man. Yeah, if you're a teenager, fine. Yeah, you just a walking penis at that point. But when you get older, you can't just expect men to just be, you know, a giant fucking cock at that point. He walking around. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do some shit to turn us on. You got to a happy, content man is what I'm trying to say. You got to be content. You got to be happy. You got to be proud of this woman. You have to desire this woman. And when she ain't doing shit like a Peggy Bundy, I'm not rewarding you. I'm looking at you with contempt. If anything, how the fuck you figure I'm supposed to fuck you if you ain't doing your fucking job? Shit, if I'm Al, I might as well just jerk the fuck off. At that point, what are you here for? You don't serve a fucking thing. You don't serve a purpose. I mean, it's fucked up, nigga. I'll eat the fucking bacon sandwiches and goddamn Tang pops and Tang sandwiches. It's disgusting, bro. But anyway, still to one of the great shows of all time, and it is what it is. Tell me what you guys think.